I don't know what happened, but when I moved into this apartment, I had many more pairs of underwear than I do now. I could have sworn I had like 15 pairs on the first day I moved in. I just did laundry. I'm down to like 10 pairs. 5 pairs of my underwear have gone missing in like 6 months. So we've got either one of two situations. One of my 2 roommates is sneaking in, or maybe both of them as like a joint effort, are sneaking into my room and just taking my underwear. Or 2, some strange third party is breaking into our house, bypassing the TV, the phones, the camera, and just going straight to the underwear. What sort of motivation is that? Who risks jail time for a pair of tidy whities? It sort of reminds me of when my mom found porn in the search history of our family computer, and she was just like, well, either it was you, your brother, or your father, or some stranger just broke into the house and decided to watch porn on the family computer for no reason. Turned out to be me, but hey, look at me now, Mom. I'm watching porn on the internet, and people love me for it. Right, so this video isn't about any of what I just talked about. This video is about me answering your questions. And before I start, I would just like to say I'm sorry that this is such a low effort video, but I'm still working 4 days a week despite the quarantine situation, because I work at a grocery store and I just need to get those hours in while I can. But don't worry, next week we'll have a slightly higher quality video. Still with this shitty, grainy quality that you guys know and love. One thing I would like to point out is all of your guys' questions suck. They're not good questions. Thoughts on new followers, post-Jack's films, and how it's affected the community. It affected the community by creating one in the first place. Before Jack made the video on me, well, before Jack made the video where I was one of the people that the video was about, I had 500 subscribers. I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do for my 600 subscriber video when this happened. I jumped from 500 to 3,000 by the end of that day, and I'm now sitting at 8,000 pretty comfortably. So there was no community at first. I had one fan, and we spoke on a regular basis because that's just something I was able to do because he was my one fan. Here's a good one. Would raping a dog classify as cringe? And I don't need to answer this because the person directly underneath already said, no, it would classify as fucking weird, which is a fucking baller response, because first of all, it seems like the appropriate response. Yeah, raping a dog is weird, you freak, why would you know? But then you realize, upon like further reflection, you realize, fucking weird. It's like still an understatement. Raping a dog is more than just fucking weird. It's just it's a crime. In retrospect, do you have any regrets about the sneeze porn video getting blown up? Do you wish it was a different video that got the shout out? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that like now I'm just I'm the sneeze guy. This is the sneeze channel. No matter what I do, this will always be the channel. I did that one video about sneezes. That's gonna be a bit of a drag eventually, like if in 2 years people are still like referencing the sneeze video and like only talking about that. But at the same time, I don't mind that much. It's a good video, in my opinion. Sneeze fetishes are so unique that like I'm okay with my channel being associated with that, because at least it's something. I don't want to use the word unique again. Where are all the words? Where are the words in my head? Where have they gone? Because sneeze fetish is niche enough that I feel like I'm the only channel that's really done something drastic and major about it. So it's cool if this becomes like part of the brand. And also, I don't know which of my other videos would have like been as like culturally significant as the sneeze fetish one. I think the worst thing about it though is that like that's all anyone asks me about. Now all my fans are just like, oh, what's your favorite fetish? Because like, what's gonna happen here? You see, what did happen here is like half of these questions are, what's your favorite kink? What's your favorite fetish? Which fetish is your least favorite? Have you ever fucked a car? Would you ever want to fuck a car? Well, have you ever thought about fucking a car inside a much larger car? So I know you guys are curious about that stuff. The channel's already horny enough as it is. I don't want to answer any kink questions in this video. What would you do if you found out you're pregnant? I don't know why we ever made experimenting on humans illegal, considering the fact that you gain so much knowledge and you gain a lot of insight from doing horrible things to human beings. So that's what I would do. I would give birth. I would figure out a cool little fun activity to do with my free science experiment. How have you been dealing with the plague? Because I felt awfully lonely and isolated. I feel bad for all of you guys. Now there's like 8,000 of my children who are dealing with this shit, and I'm sorry. And my heart goes out to you guys. That was the gayest shit I've ever said. What am I, like a fucking My Little Pony character? Oh, this is Rainbow Storm, and her ability is that her heart can go out to all of you guys. No, but I genuinely am worried and concerned about you guys, because I feel lucky because I'm still able to go outside regularly because I have been deemed essential. But it's been wildly stressful because like everyone else is really stressed. And when so many people are stressed at the same time, it sort of just weighs down on you and brings you down. I'm trying not to let it get to me, but it's gotten to me. I like this one. When it comes to the interpretation of the Schrödinger equation, what theory do you gravitate towards? Is it the standard Copenhagen interpretation, or are you more of a many worlds person, or maybe you're kinda out there with hidden variables or string theory? Ass or tits? I only have surface level knowledge of string theory, and like I've barely scratched the surface of quantum mechanics. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like isn't the many worlds theory an aspect of string theory? Because with string theory, like there's at least 10 dimensions and up to like 27, and once you get high enough, you reach multiple worlds. I do believe in like alternate possibilities. I just don't know if those alternate possibilities are also alternate realities. Because it's easy to live in this reality and say, oh, this is definitely real. But perhaps there's like a different alternate reality out there in which I'm just a possibility. I don't know, but all I can really say right now is that in this reality, the one that we live in, the one that we reside in, I am very much definitely a tits man. I love boobs to a fault. If I see boobs, I lose like 90% of my brain function. But I'm sure that in some alternate reality, I am an ass man. And there are also alternate realities in which case I am an ass. Do you fear that opening a Patreon right after getting some exposure, you might look like a sellout, and moreover, does the stereotype bother you? I was sort of worried about that for a bit. Why wouldn't I make a Patreon? I'm trying to support myself. I want to make better content. I want to be able to devote more time to making this content, and to do that I need to work less at my job so I can make this my job. And for that I would need a Patreon. I would need to be able to subsist monetarily off of making videos, which I can't do yet. So yeah, it is a bit of a stereotype to like automatically open a Patreon right after getting exposure, but it's a good option. And it's not like I'm just collecting money, I'm still putting work into doing that. Is that a Gerard Way body pillow in your background? This is Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps. Most of my comments, aside from the kinky stuff, are about that body pillow. So yes, that is Aaron Hansen. I am a fan. Still watch Game Grumps to this day. I've been watching them for like 5 years now. Favorite type of cheese? Why? Listen, you can't ask like such an open-ended question, because when you deal with cheese, you have to deal with like, are we talking about texture, just flavor, like meltability, the cheese like on its own, or are we talking about the different ways that the cheese can like combo with other flavors and foods? Because like you take like a slice of mozzarella, right, and you just eat that plain. That's not gonna do anything. But then you include like mozzarella with other cheeses in your grilled cheese or in your pizza, then like that's a game changer. Same with stuff like Swiss. Like Swiss on its own isn't that great, but like you put that on you saute that with some mushrooms, put that in a burger. Blue cheese sucks, but like if you stuff it inside an olive with some garlic, then like you've got yourself a really nice treat. Parmesan, super versatile. You like you could like bake it, turn it into crisps. You can grate it onto salads. You could grate it onto your pasta. You could take the rind and shove it up your ass. There's a lot you can do with Parmesan. This is kind of generic, but what made you start your channel and going into more sexual stuff on your channel as a whole? I've always liked being the center of attention, and I figured that starting a YouTube channel would be a good way to dominate that attention. Obviously now I do it more out of like, oh, I can make good videos. I didn't realize I can do that. something within me. At the very start, I didn't care about angles or color correction or editing or anything like that. I was very much just like, oh, look at how funny I am. Ha 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 ha, suck my dick. Now, the sexual stuff is a bit more recent. I have been horny my entire life. I've been the only baby in recorded history to have an erection coming out the womb. But I only started making hornier videos, let's see. Yeah, I definitely got really horny. Very, very publicly. So I guess the answer is like, I don't know, sex is a general interest of mine, and it's a general interest of everyone's. It's a good way to capture the attention. I don't know, I'm not gonna get into too much detail. Let's just end it with I'm really horny and I don't know how to keep my vibes in check. Some channels are dedicated to ASMR and anime. I have a channel dedicated to butt stuff. Were you born in America or Canada, or did you move here? I wasn't born in either of those places. I was born in Korea. I was born in a bathtub in Korea. My biological mom was 16 when she had me. She gave me up to a hospital, and the hospital kept me there for about a year before sending me to an orphanage, where I was the first person adopted by this military family, who are Americans. So I became American through that process. There was a huge, drastic, like the writers of whatever show, like the people writing the script for my show that is my life, whoever they hired for the first 3 seasons definitely quit, and then whoever they got to replace them with seemed to run out of ideas, because this is a bunch of bullshit. Why do you like it when people are racist toward you? I don't genuinely like it. I just think it's funny when they are. Growing up, my parents were sort of racist against Asians. Again, I was adopted, they're white. But aside from that, I've never really experienced like proper racism. So I just think it's funny as an Asian dude when I'm able to say, you know what, be racist if you like, say some racist shit about me. I like the creative stuff, like, oh man, I would type out a racist comment, but I'm afraid your eyes are too small to see it. I prefer that stuff over like, haha, go back to China, you chink. If you're going to be racist, be creative, and then I will love you. Do you know what Undertale is? Yes, I watched the both of the Game Grumps Undertale playthroughs. I've played it a couple times myself, and I have the Undertale vinyl record. And that comes with 2 of the discs. It's got this really cool, like, art on the inside jacket. Listening to Megalovania on the record player, it's just it's a pure out of body experience. It's very ethereal. Have you talked to Jack about the promised blowjob? Not yet. I feel like I should wait a bit. I feel like I have to reach a certain number of subscribers before I can bring it up with him. I feel like Jack only lets people with a certain amount of internet clout to be anywhere near his cock, but once he agrees to it, we will definitely make a video about it. So this is a hate comment, but it's such a good hate comment. I've run over dogs with more personality than you. I love how specific it is. I love how he knows. Because the situation is either A, he hates me so much that he just assumes that I'm just less funny than just most dogs in general. Also, there's the hidden implication of this guy running over multiple dogs, because at that point it's not an accident. At that point it's like a pattern. But I like the part where he mentions their personalities, because did he get to know them before he hit them? Like, did he take these dogs out to lunch? Do your parents watch your videos? No. It's funny because my parents know I make videos, or like have a passion for making videos, because I've made videos for my sister before, and they've actually recommended that I make a YouTube channel. And each time they bring it up, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll get onto that. There's no way I'm showing my parents this channel. If my parents ever find out about my channel, it's because it's gotten so big that I can no longer hide it from them. And hopefully at that point, the fact that it's gotten so big that my parents were able to find it means that I'm able to support myself off it. And I can say, hey, this is a job, you know, like, you can't force me to take this shit down. Don't show my parents my videos. So it seems like those were all the questions and comments worth going through. I'm sorry if this video was very boring or low energy or just bad in general. I'm wildly stressed out, but we'll be back to our regular good old-fashioned content. A lot of you are subscribed now. Don't know why you did that. You should unsubscribe. Definitely hit that dislike button. Maybe report this video. Guys, I'm so tired right now. Have a good day.